Hello and welcome to the video. In today's video, we're going to take a look at one of the rarest Pokemon currently in Pokemon Go. If you have this one, congrats to you. It was only available, I think, 2 times in Pokemon Go, and at those times, remote raiding and stuff like this wasn't a thing yet, which, at least for me, made it very, very difficult to get this Pokemon back in the day. But you're, of course, going to take a look today at the Armored Mewtwo, which you see as well if you can read the title or look at the thumbnail, so not too surprising. But Armored Mewtwo got buffed this season, having the buff on Dynamic Punch, which is actually really cool because now it has the same pacing as the Side Strike. So if it's super effective, you're gonna be able to just get there at the same time, which is really, really cool. Also, I do think that this Pokemon has a lot of play, but I didn't really know on what team I want to play around it. And so I actually asked DanielZNyiri for this one. He plays this Pokemon for basically since it got released. It's one of his favorite Pokemon, especially, of course, for the Open Ultra League. And so I asked for a team. We have the team here. We're going to have the Greninja in the lead. They had 2 teams that they gave me, but we have Greninja in the lead. We have the face-up of the Weezing. Weezing could be a different moveset. I know that they were running Overheat on it, which does make a lot of sense as well. I gave it Sludge with an Elite TM because I don't have Charge TMs. That is an absolute waste, by the way, you should never do that. But yeah, because I wanted to really take a look at this Pokemon here, the Mewtwo, I wanted to have a team that hopefully works out well. And this team really worked out well, I have to say. I definitely would have been able to hit, again, by the way, the veteran rank without the one-turn lags that's currently happening when you switch in a Pokemon. But yeah, still this here was a lot of fun. And we're gonna see here today on how this is going to perform. Armored Mewtwo definitely is back though. Armored Mewtwo I think has a great play in the current meta because there are a lot of poison type Pokemon, a lot of Pokemon that are weak to the fighting typing. And yeah, here in the first battle, the opponent is going to forfeit anyway. Moving on, great lead for us. Let's see on how we can screw this up now. We're gonna see a Blasters coming in. Blasters, interesting Pokemon, going to be an okay Pokemon for us to deal with. I kind of want to get them a little bit lower because I feel like this might put them into range for just one Side Strike, and that's what I kind of try to go for. I get the free fast move in here, I think, with my Mewtwo, which is cool, and we're gonna let the move go through. As you will see here as well, Armored Mewtwo does not have the stats of a normal Mewtwo. It is way bulkier, and honestly, Niantic or Scopely, I would really like to see more like this. It's such a cool special Pokemon. Of course, it should get released again into my grades just for people to get this Pokemon. But it is such a cool concept to have Pokemon that have different forms based on the movies and anime and give them different stats according to that. I know it is a bit difficult to do this kind of stuff with the Pokemon Company, I would assume, because you have to get the rights to it and stuff like this. But here, this was of course a promotion for a movie. And I love it. Why do we not have more of this stuff? For example, there's Crystal Onyx, for example, in the, what's called in the anime. Why do we not have this Pokemon? Then maybe Crystal Onyx is a little bit stronger than a normal Onyx and it would be usable in the Open Great League. Wouldn't this be absolutely amazing? I would love to see that for sure. But yeah, anyway, we're gonna take a look here now at the games a little bit. I would just like to see a little bit more like this, where actually costumes change the Pokemon a little bit. I feel like this is such a cool concept, especially for Mewtwo, of course, here. Having this Pokemon now being bulky and being very strong in the Ultra League is something kind of refreshing. As we'll see here, the opponent still has their Talonflame, they can knock me out, but Mewtwo has Confusion. Mewtwo is going to be able to knock out the opponent's Talonflame, and we can move on to the next opponent. Fortress is kinda one of the hardest answers for this team, and so yeah, we're going to stay in here with our Greninja. Greninja is such a cool Pokemon. I love this Pokemon. It's my favorite Pokemon, to be fair. And I have a shiny XXL Greninja here that has great PvP IVs. I couldn't believe it when I caught this Pokemon. I was like, yes, really cool because I can actually use it for videos. So yeah, I really like this Pokemon as well, and that's why I want to use this team here from DanielZNyiri because it is featuring my favorite Pokemon with Greninja again. And honestly, I think it's also having a great play in the current meta. Here we're going to let the Rock Tomb go through. We are going to be now equal shields with the opponent, but we're going to be able to farm up energy here. We have the Mewtwo, we have the Weezing coming in against the opponent's Zygarde. We still have a lot of play here. Mewtwo has now a Side Strike and a Dynamic Punch stored, which is going to help us out quite a bit. We're going to see here that we can just go for some Brutal Swing damage and Fairy Wind damage against the Zygarde. They're very likely going to have Earthquake, exactly, they do a lot of damage with that. But I kind of want to keep my shields for the Mewtwo because Mewtwo has such damage output thanks to Confusion, Side Strike, and Dynamic Punch all being very strong moves in terms of damage at least. Confusion could definitely have maybe a little bit of a buff towards it, would be kind of cool for it. But let's see if we can still win this battle here just with Armored MEWTWO. We have 3 Pokemon left. They're gonna go into the fortress. They're gonna be able to debuff us. We have to let the move go through. It's gonna be the Rock Tomb. It is not doing that much. Like, look how little this did. What do they have in the back? We know about the Zygarde. What else is there? Golisopod. Can we still win this battle? It depends. Can we catch a move? That would be really important, but as we see here, thanks to the debuff onto us, we are not in a position where we can go for 2 side strikes to win this battle, and so sadly I'm just going to forfeit this one because, yeah, we needed to have no debuff on our MEWTWO here. Great lead for us and great Pokemon for us to swap in as well. Let's see how we can screw this one up. Let's see, I gotta swap out into a Weezing. Of course we can take a hit here, we can take a Brave Bird, and then we can realign, which is my main play. It's gonna be the Brave Bird. I decided to use a shield because I was like, even against the other Pokemon, against Typhlosion, we're gonna be fine here. We see another Brave Bird coming through, that's all okay. And now we can go for the double Sludge, but because we are super low now because of all the Brave Birds, we are in such an awkward spot that, yes, we can get the shield back, but they're gonna have a ton of energy, enough to go for a Thunder Punch against our Greninja, so it is what it is. We're going to use a shield here. At least we got the fast move through, which a lot of times doesn't happen recently. And they're going to have the Florges in the back. That's actually possible for us to play. We're going to be able to go for the Hydro Cannon. This is going to get them kind of low. We can go up to another Hydro Cannon and then swap out into our MEWTWO. We should be able to take a hit. We should be able to go for a Side Strike against them as well. Let's see. We're going to have the Moonblast coming in. And I think I still get to another move here in time. I decide to overfarm. I needed to overfarm actually here because the opponent still has a Typhlosion. And so I am going to go up here. I have 2 Night Slashes. I hope that I get the knockout here because against the Typhlosion I should be able to just outspeed them. They use a shield and they catch the move. I knew I have to undercharge, but I didn't know how much. I undercharged a bit too little. I needed to get at least 3 fast moves in here in order to knock them out and have the energy for the Florges. Well played. They played this really, really well here. But yeah, good game there. Well played for the opponent. Great game plan at the end. We could have won this if we played it a little bit better. For Relegator, this is going to be a very neutral matchup. He actually loses, I think, as a Greninja in the 0 shield scenario. So you always have to invest in shield. Well, you see already why, basically, because we see like how much a Night Slash does. A Night Slash is not going to be able to 2-shot unless we have a lot of fast move pressure onto them. And so you see me here going one over and then going for the charge move afterwards. After their move here as well, because I know that it is the best and only real way for us to deal with this scenario. But they're gonna swap out into the Malamar. You know what we can do here? We can swap out into our Weezing, and all the charge moves gonna be a waste for them because a foul play is going to do barely any damage. Superpower is double resisted, so all the energy they just gained against the Greninja is gonna go down the drain. And we're gonna be able to overform by quite a bit. Have now 2 charge moves stored for us as well. With 2 Brutal Swings, we're gonna get a KO here. They still have the shield advantage, which is a little bit annoying. And I can go for the bait here because I expect them to go for a shield for sure. They go for a shield. I can now go for the Sludge. I'm actually gonna decide to use a shield here because as far as I know, I should be able to just go for the Sludge here, get some damage, and then swap out into the MEWTWO. And I think the fast move damage should be enough to knock them out. Interestingly enough, they actually get to the Rage Fist here, which I don't know where they got all the energy, but good for them. It does a lot of damage, but even I think a double boosted Rage Fist or whatever it was here wasn't enough to knock us out. But this game is still kind of close because they're still going to have here the Feraligatr knocking us out here. We have to go for an extra fast move, but at this point I know we win this battle because we win the CMP tie. We have the energy here, we're going to be able to get the shield, we can go for the Night Slash here to get the KO. And with this is going to be absolutely fine. We're going to win this battle and we can move on into the next opponent. I think that was the game that was sadly a little bit destroyed by a bit of lag, but we will take a look at this one here again. Let's see on how this battle is going to go. We're going to have everything kind of normal so far. We can use a shield here against a potential Trailblazer, go for the Crunch, which is interesting, and then swap out into Golisopod. Golisopod can be a bit of an issue for this team, I have to say. I should have most likely went for a Night Slash a little bit earlier and then swapped out in order to get them a little bit lower, but we tried to catch the Exeter here onto our Weezing, which was my main play there. But as you see here, Sludge is coming through, going to 2-shot them. We should still be able to survive another hit. And at this point I was like, if I survive this and knock them out, that's fine. If they use shield, that's fine. I can go for a Night Slash. But what we will see here is that the opponent is going to decide to shield this move up. And I want to go into the Greninja, and now I want to go for a Night Slash. My charge move buttons didn't show up. I would have been either able to knock them out there, I think, or got the shield from the opponent. As we will see actually now how much a Night Sash does. Does it knock them out? Let's find out. It would have knocked them out. I'd never had to use that shield. And then I had a shield now in this scenario. And if I have a shield in this scenario, I would be able to go for the full farm on against the opponent's Pokemon here most likely and end up with a Side Strike. And this is going to completely lose us the battle because what we see here is that they can go for a crunch. It doesn't knock us out actually. And I would have been able to go for the full farm down here still. Had a Side Strike against the Erosion, which is not at the move yet. Would have done a ton of damage and would have put them into the Hydro Cannon range which I had. So if the charge move buttons would have shown up, would have been a victory for us. And this also would have meant we would have had Veteran with this team, which would have been the case with the team before as well. It's a bit annoying, but again, like it's only been since like the last week. Now, of course, this week is started as well. And it's mainly an Ultra League for me. I don't know, I don't really have it too much in the other league. I don't know what is wrong with the Ultra League for me, but it is what it is. Let's move on here. Let's see on if we're going to be able to beat this Lapras. We're going to have super effective damage coming in from them. And we're kind of locked in this matchup, which I don't like because both of my other Pokemon are way better in this matchup. Because both of them are going to be able to resist the fast move. Greninja is even going to be able to resist the Sparkling Area as well. And so this is a very bad matchup kind of for me here. I'm going to swap out back into the Greninja, try to farm them down. They go into the Malamar. I'm forced to use a shield here. And I was hoping that another superpower is not going to be enough to knock us out because of the debuff onto their attack now. And I have a ton of energy here that I kind of want to still use. And as we will see, the opponent goes for a charge move. They are at -1 attack and a superpower is not enough. That's good. That's good to know. We have no Night Sash here still stored, but this game is still going to be a bit more tough than I want it to be. We're going to get the KO here. They're going to have the Cobalion. That's good for me. Cobalion is fine for me. I have a very good answer in my Dynamic Punch MEWTWO. And so what we will see here is me trying to get the move. Worked out really well. That really didn't work out. But yeah, we're gonna see here me going to my MEWTWO. Stone just coming through from the opponent. They can go for another Stone Edge here. And we can just go and try to get the perfect fast move timing in basically, which is going to allow us as well to get the KO against the Lapras. We need one more fast move and now we have 2 Dynamic Punches stored. This should clearly be enough to knock them out, right? We get the Dynamic Punch off. And we should have got the KO here before they get to the move because they went for a fast move, I went for a fast move, and usually the damage registered before. Luckily it didn't matter there, but again, this could have been very scary based on inconsistency. That's not even lag, by the way, like that's just an inconsistency that's been around for the last 3 years. So I guess it's part of the game, I'm not sure. But yeah, great catch by the opponent here. They caught it on the Golisopod. I should have stayed in for at least 3 more fast moves then swap out, because then I would have been able to maybe catch an Exeter, which is double resistant on the Weezing, instead of a neutral hit here from the opponent's Awkward Jet. I was a bit surprised as well in this matchup, I think, because what we will see here is that they are going to see Impeta here, which they should have not been able to do unless they got a fast move in against the Greninja. I didn't see the fast move against the Greninja. But, I don't know, maybe there was one, could be the case, but that, of course, is a bit annoying because now they can farm me down here. Greninja at least can take the hits from the opponent's Drapion, especially the first one, unless it's Sludge Bomb. Why do you use a shield here? I'm not too sure, I should have not done that. But it's luckily just a Crunch, which means they don't have Sludge Bomb, which means we can let the move go through here as well. And the debuffs wouldn't really matter. They're going to have the Gastron in the back, and of course I need to keep my Greninja around. I have now the Side Strike loaded against the opponent. Side Strike is such a strong move. 90 damage, 45 energy, same as the Dynamic Punch, but this one of course has Stab on it. And as you will see here, Armored MEWTWO will take the Earth Power. And I was wondering at this point, would it have been smarter for me to shield up the Earth Power? I'm not sure. Because if I shield up the Earth Power, maybe would have been able to just go for the full farm down and then end up with 2 moves against the opponent. But I don't know. And here we're going to be in a very tough spot because I have to kind of go into my Greninja and go straight for the charge move, and the opponent still has 2 shields left. Remember this. I don't know if I can outspeed them, but what we have to do is perfect fast move timing. So I have to always go for 1 fast move before my charge move, which you see here. And as long as they're not having any energy before that, I should be able to outspeed them. I can outspeed them, but is it enough to knock them out is the question here. Let's find out. It is not. They have to go for another charge move, but can MEWTWO still knock them out? I am not too sure about it, but let's find out here. It is enough for a double KO. That's kind of hilarious. Okay, next opponent. This one caught me a little bit off guard, to be fair. I have to say here, this kind of caught me a little bit off guard. This is going to be the only match which you see, I think, today where exactly this is happening. Boost. And I thought, Scald fine, Acid Spray is fine. Then Sludge Wave. I should have used a shield. I thought of using a shield, but I was like, there's no way that they're gonna go for like the extra move expecting, because it makes sense for me to use a shield there. And if I used a shield, I think I would have most likely won the battle instantaneously there because of the backline that they have. Because I would either get like 2 shields from the opponent again, or just generally speaking would get the Tentacruel low and still had a great play against the opponent's backline, because we see the Galarian Moltres, which Greninja can beat, especially with a double boost on its attack. But not only this, we're also gonna see another Pokemon that I have also built that I just forgot to showcase, to be fair, which is the Bombardier. And like this, I'm sadly going to lose this battle, but I could have just won it with the Greninja alone. So mistakes been made, but this team was honestly amazing. Like, I can recommend you to try out this team. Like, you see like the losses here, it's mainly team comp or myself or a little bit of lag. So like, it is not the team itself. Like, it's usually that people just hardwall sometimes, which happens for every single team. But yeah, this team is amazing. I would really recommend you to give it a try. And we're just gonna move into the final battle anyway. Let's see on how this is gonna go. Sludge, going to be able to get them low. We should be able to outspeed them here, which is really important to get rid of the opponent's Golisopod. And that's exactly what's going to be happening here now. Goodbye, Golisopod. Oh wait, they want to use a shield here. I'm going to use a shield here. I hope that they don't get to another Exeter later on. Of course, Exeter is going to be super effective, but it would be super effective against both of my Pokemon anyway. They swap on into the Sand Slash, which I was expecting, and so I can go for the Dynamic Punch. I hope that they let the move go through. They do not. They have also the fast move of Shadow Claw being super effective against my Armored Mewtwo. I can take hits here. Armored Mewtwo is very, very bulky. Ice Punch is coming through. Can I take another Ice Punch here without shielding? I don't think so, and I want to get rid of the Sand Slash without any problems. And so Ice Punch is coming through, Dynamic Punch is coming through. This is going to allow us to get the KO for sure. And let's see what they have in the back. They have the Mana Bus. Why did they not go into the Mana Bus against me here though? Like, that doesn't really make sense. I expected the Golisopod. I know that the Golisopod had energy though, and that's why I overfarmed and went for the Night Slash here as well. No boost. If I had a boost here, this game must be over already. And now it is literally still, I think, 1+ minute left for this video, like 1 minute just generally left for this video, and it's just the Mana Bus. Mana Bus is going to survive here basically for 2 minutes because we have to put everything against it, and I have no idea if we're actually going to be able to win this here now. Even though we still have 3 Pokemon left, Mana Bus is such a tank that even the Hydrocans are not really tickling it too much. I have to catch a move here. I can catch the move. I was hoping I would still get a free fast move, but it's usually not the case anyway, so like, it's not a mistake by anyone or whatever. I was hoping I get to the Dynamic Punch, but I'm missing out by a few HP, like a few energy there as well. At this point, I was also thinking, could I just win by like running down the switch clock or like the timer in general? But this wasn't the case either. We will see here the opponent going straight for the Aerial Ace though, which is really nice for us because now we can still go for the Hydro Cannon, and this will be enough to get the KO here, winning the battle. The switch clock, or like the timer is still not up there. This is going to be the first video. Again, thanks so much to DanielZNyiri for this team. Links to them down below in the description, and I will see you then. Bye bye.